It has been raining pretty hard last couple days, so unfortunately that caused these edges to fall in. So now we're gonna have to clean this up and put the post, finish the conduit, and backfill this area.
Ah.
Let me go do that with Lily's.
Okay, can you help me out?
Yeah. So you want to get here to get the
This get the rock off.
Okay.
Yeah. You see the problem?
Yeah.
Earlier on this year, we had the 3-inch conduit coming from the transformer sticking out over there, and we excavated that trench and were able to pull it further down this way so that we could complete the grading on that area there. This here is where that 3-inch conduit makes it to. And again, this is the secondary service conduit coming from the transformer, the pad mount transformer just there, about 30 feet away, to here. What we're trying to do here is now pull this up to grade. So it's going to come up in a big sweep, big 90-degree sweeping elbow, to this line here. This orange line here is the outside wall of the building. So this is a string line that we've got set up, and then this other one we've run at the right distance away to be the exact position, I guess, of this western wall of the building. The conduit is then going to come up here above grade, which is where it will then go up into our meter. We have a temporary meter over there. The final meter is going to be on this building. So we, when we put this in earlier this year, I just duct taped over the end of this. I didn't have a 3-inch cap to seal that end up with. So I just put some duct tape over the end. Then we had all of the rain this year, this summer, and it filled this trench with water. There's sand and everything in here. And I was really nervous when we took the duct tape off. We were going to find a ton of sediment and water and everything in there. It wouldn't be a big pain to clean out because it only runs about 30 feet to there. But actually we took the duct tape off and it looked really clean inside. So that's good news. We wiped out the very end, but otherwise it looks fine. So the next step now is we've got a 3-inch sweep. So this is a 36-inch radius, 3-inch conduit that's going to come up. And this pipe here, this conduit here, is actually too long. We're going to have to trim that back, which is great. I thought we might have to extend it a little bit. So what we're going to try and do is I've glued a coupler onto the end of that sweep. We're going to position that here, try and get it level and see how much we have to cut off this piece of conduit. We might just do this by trial and error. It's really hard to measure these things when that sweep has a decent amount of sort of flex in it. We do want to try and get it level, and also we're coming in at an angle. We're not coming in perpendicular to the building. So we're going to see if we can get this nice and accurate. So you have to like turn it or wiggle it or something to get it in.
Did you put the line on here? How deep?
Yeah,
oh,
there roughly. But we don't have to get all those because we know where it should end.
Okay.
Yeah, that's perfect. Hang on, just mark on pipe how deep this is going.
Yep.
That is almost perfectly. So about there.
Nice. That's within the tolerance of.
Yeah. And this way.
Turn.
Just a hat. Yeah. So that is basically the position we want it. Okay. Both of our conduit sweeps are now in, the 3-inch for the secondary service. That was pretty straightforward actually. We just trimmed little bits back until we got a nice good fit, getting that exactly plumb in both directions and in the position we wanted it relative to this string line. We don't have a pull string in there because it's only 30 foot. So we can just put that in when they move the meter over for us. That's what we've agreed with them. This one here for the fibre was a little trickier. First of all, we had to extend the conduit in the ground. It wasn't long enough to go straight into the sweep. So we did add a little piece on and then did the same as we did on the 3-inch, just trimmed that back a little bit at a time until we got this fitting where we wanted. There was one little complexity with this, which is we have a pull string in this conduit. When you have a pull string in the conduit, it makes gluing it much harder because you need to sort of get the primer and the cement around the conduit without getting the plasticky pull string in there all soaked in that stuff, and it might stick. So what we used is a technique we've done before using a fish tape. So this is a steel fish tape, and we push that through the piece of conduit we're attaching, in this case the sweep, tie it to the pull string that's in there, and then push that pull string back away from the section we're going to glue. The glue is not going to stick to this steel fish tape very easily. If it does, we can yank on that pretty hard and free it. And then I tend to just like nudge it a little bit periodically just to stop it sticking. Then when we're confident this is cured enough that it's no longer sticky, we can pull the string back through with the fish tape. So we're going to give that another few minutes. We only just finished gluing this one up. Then we'll pull that through. That pull string we'll have just inside the top here, and we'll just loop the end out with a cap on like we've got on this one. And yeah, that will be our fibre to the property. So pretty excited about that. Couple of other things going on here. We've extended this 1-inch conduit. This is the one that stores or will have the Ethernet cable in. That's going to come under the building. So we've just put another stick on there just to get it out of this area so we can begin backfilling here. We still have the direct burial Ethernet that we put in there. And again, we'll sort of run that one out that way as well. And then we've got the yellow tracer wire, the 14 gauge tracer wire that we're going to run up to the top of this conduit and just tape that on. That is a requirement of the fibre company. They want that, even though we are using the foil detectable tape above all of these conduits, they still want the tracer wire. So that's their prerogative. The last thing we put in here is the ground rod. There's a few different ways you can ground a building. Because we're putting insulation under the slab, using the rebar in the slab is not an option for us. It's an insulated slab. It's not going to have ground potential. So we can't use an UFA ground from the rebar. Instead, we're using ground rods. Again, something that we have agreed with the electric company and checked with the local electrician. We are spot on for that. So we have 2 ground rods. They need to be around about 6 feet apart. So we have one in that trench, one in this trench, tied together with the bare ground wire per the specification of the utility company. And then this conduit here is just slipped over it for now, but that will essentially protect the ground as it comes up in this orientation. One of the things we've had to do is work out which meter main we want to use so that we know where these need to come up, not just in relation to the wall, but in relation to each other as well. So we know which meter main we're going to use. So we're going to try and pull that ground conductor up through this conduit in the right location to pretty much hit that knockout that we're going to pull into via a little grounding bar like we used on the other meter main in here. This orange string line is about 8 inches above grade. This is pretty much the top of the J-bolts that we put on for the piers. So you can see these are going to sit just under a foot above grade, which as long as we stake this area out so we know they're here, that's fine for the winter. So essentially, once we've finished off a few things here, we can backfill this area.
So we got most of the conduit glued in. There's still going to be some more for the conduits that are going to go to the barn. But for today, we're done because it's starting to rain, and we'll pick up tomorrow with some backfilling. Thanks for watching, and see you next video. And you double check the over there, that's the thing.
I double checked that over there, that's the thing. You're going to have to give me something more than that.
It's lunchtime.